Good Sunday morning, everybody. Thank you for joining me. This is me drawing every day for a year, week number 34. Let's get into it. This first spread was a series of drawing exercises. I think I mentioned in last week's video that I'm using the fountain pen in a very, like the majority of people use fountain pens, in a very straightforward manner. I'm drawing the object in a positive manner, meaning I outline that object and fill it in. So this particular side of the spread, I wanted to draw the negative space to form the positive object. So you could see here that I drew an apple by drawing the space around it. It certainly is a different way of looking at objects, and it took me a while, and it still takes me a while to sort of shift my mindset and look at the area around an object. Other objects that I drew, a mug, a water bottle, squirt water bottle, and I have a small Minnie Mouse doll. It belongs to my niece. She lent it to me. I don't normally carry small Minnie Mouse dolls at my place, but I want to try something a bit more complex and drawing the negative space around that object to form the object itself. This side of the spread, I wanted to actually mirror the objects that I drew on this side, but it went off the rails really quickly and it just reverted back to my old self of drawing the positive form of objects. There was no reason for me choosing any of these objects. It was just whatever was kind of struck me at that moment. And this particular vignette you'll see in a later spread that leads to an exercise. I hope you'll enjoy that. The next spread, going back to one of my favorite drawing themes, are people. This particular gentleman was sleeping on the subway, and this is Joey, a co-worker who usually takes a nap during lunchtime, and I was there to capture that moment. Fortunately for me, Joey sleeps in the same position every day over lunch break, and so this gave me an opportunity to get another kick of the can, if you will, of Joey. As I mentioned from my first spread, that sort of squiggly mouse doodle led into this particular spread, and also I finished reading a book on how to overcome obstacles, and there was one particular section in that book that resonated with me about overcoming creative obstacles, and the author put forth a thesis that if you're stuck in a rut with a creative endeavor, just leave it, set it aside, and start on something new, something usually that's the polar opposite of what you were stuck on. So instead of doing figurative work, I just went with something that was totally abstract, something no objective, no rhyme or reason, just a free-flowing form exercise. So I did a series of small vignettes of just line work. I didn't have to deal with perspective, proportion, or any other trappings of figurative drawing, and it was just a really fun time just letting things go and putting lines down. He also suggested that, the author that is, that if you're doing something creative and you have a block, doing continuous line work like this helps with the creative flow. I guess it's just being continuous with something and not having expectations, just letting it go helps with that creative unblocking. So this was actually a fun exercise. I will probably come back to something like this in the future. The next spread is of, on this side, I hope you recognize it. It's the Ryerson Quad in downtown Toronto. Going back to the boulders, massive monolithic pieces of rock in the middle of the city. I love it. And this time I had an opportunity to draw a man behind one of the biggest rocks in this dry pond. And it certainly gives you a sense of the scale of these guys. And I will continue drawing this as the weather permits, for sure. And then this is Majid, a co-worker who I haven't drawn in a while, so I thought I'd give it another stab. And there he is. Some more drawings of co-workers. This is Elmer. This is Yanni. This gentleman is not a coworker. He was sitting or lying down on a bench across from me on the train, TTC. Normally, situations like that would irk me because he's inconsiderate, taking up 4 seats during rush hour. But this opportunity, I was like, no, that's a drawing opportunity. So I got to sketch a bit of him before the train went out of service at the next stop. So this is only 1 station's worth of drawing. And the last spread is my new studio setup. It's set up in my bedroom, and it's a bit cramped, but I'll make it work. And the painting on the easel is of a self-portrait. It's taken me a while to even reach this point. I'm a slow painter, and hopefully, no, you know what? Not hopefully, I will finish it by the end of this year. I'm being accountable to you guys, and I'll definitely show you perhaps some process videos of me working on that guy. But I promise you here and now that I will finish this painting by the end of 2023. And I can't believe I'm just saying it's coming to the end of 2023. But here we are in September, and this is my last spread for week number 34. We're getting closer to 52 weeks. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate your likes, comments, and joining me for this journey. Anyways, thank you again. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.